Hey guys, welcome. Just a quick video on my stretch and warm-up routine. This is something that I've kind of developed over the years. I've tried yoga. I think it's great. It's not something that I regularly practice, but as you see with my routine, it's primarily yoga. So obviously I think it's very beneficial and a great way to uh, increase mobility and have a great dynamic warm up. So, yeah, I'm not going to walk you through all these. I think all these are pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, if you have questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them as best I can. Like I said, I don't know all the terminologies. I don't really focus on my breath when I'm doing this warm up. Obviously, you want to breathe. That is important. I will say that. So yeah, this is just something that helps stretch you out. Very dynamic. It's one thing I like about the yoga, and obviously it gives you mobility in your hips, as you can kind of see there with I believe it's a frog pose. Um, yeah, so as I go through this is obviously expedited. I sped it up a little bit. This takes me about 10 minutes, and I'm trying to do this daily. I used to just do it prior to my strength training. But like I said, I think we all know the benefits that come from stretching. So towards the end, you'll see I do some squats, some kettlebell swings. There again, that's just to kind of get the blood flowing and the mobility. That's kind of more on the dynamic warm up side of it. And like I said, you'll see cat cows there. And the whole kind of accumulation of this was trying to hit essentially every muscle group as best I can, loosening and elongating the muscles. I believe I mentioned this takes me about 10 minutes. Um, you can hold the poses longer. You can include some different movements if you're familiar with yoga. There's all types of things you can do. This is something I've settled on because I think it hits everything, and you don't have to really think about it. You go through the flow and the motions, and you feel good afterwards. So, if you have any questions, comments, I'll be more than happy to answer them as best I can. Some of these are kind of a little different. I know these are kind of Supermans and swimmers. I don't know that all my terminology is perfect, so kind of bear with me on that. And then towards the end, I get into more dynamic stuff. I do squats. I do um, kettlebell swings. I do hip rotations. I do halos, which are the circular movement with the kettlebell over your head. You'll see those later. This one feels really good here. I believe these are called scorpions. That really helps with the trunk and the glutes and hips, opening up the hips a little bit. But yeah, so I just wanted to show you this, give you an idea of what I do. There again, there's tons and tons of things you can be doing. I just settled on this there again because I think that it hits just about every muscle group and really kind of gets your blood flowing and gives you mobility. So gets you ready for the day. And then obviously it's great to do just before you work out. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, there again, I'll be happy to answer them as best I can.